Mike Gill and Crash.
Hi, Mike. How are you today?
Well, I was coughing all the way up into this, but other than that, I'm doing fine.
Good.
I got to tell you, we're bringing you closer and closer to the sun. All of what you're seeing now, Maxwell, you get the idea that they're not going to give you the Epstein files yet? This stuff with Comey and Clinton's and Obama and the Russian hoax, they're giving you Hillary again, and you're going to buy that shit? It's a distraction. You're not going to open the Maxwell Epstein files because it is a path. But a path to where? Not just your Senate and your Congress and your corrupt politicians and wealthy businessmen, right? But it's a path to the Department of Justice, who is protecting all of them. You see, the path has to be to the Department of Justice, or you win nothing and solve nothing. You don't get back your courts, you don't get back your government. This is, and the Department of Justice is also, the FBI is their extension, is their extortion arm. It's one. And it's what I've been telling you that runs this corruption for now almost 15 years, 20 in total, 15 when I started figuring it out. Now, Maxwell was a path. What's the other path? The Pandora's box, right? 935 billion in New Hampshire, but you heard that. And you heard Maxwell was arrested in New Hampshire by the U.S. Attorney Lullen, who took our evidence, represented by Shaheen and Gordon, the cartel's attorneys that I faced in court, without allowing 46 witnesses or any evidence. Again, impossible not to be related. Another path. The path where Flynn, under the instructions of the Department of Justice, intercepted my evidence on that December 18, 2020. And where did we take it to? We turned around and took it to Arizona, the brokered convention. And if you think it's bold that Trump's the president only because I broke up that brokered convention, know what I say? It's exactly correct. That's why you want to hear that tape. That's why you need an investigation. No bullshit. And we're going to show you here. That's a fact. Now, why doesn't he open it? Let's see. We're going to go on, and I'll show you that. But that's the DOJ. Flynn was an operative. He ran this insurrection plot of the DOJ. What was Powell from? The DOJ. She did appeals. She also did this lawsuit that Trump didn't have any way out. It was a trap from the beginning. And this, in this brokered convention, we give you a bonus feature. Flynn and the insurrection and how it started in the corruption in Arizona, tied to Tina Peters in Colorado, which seems we've got a problem, Houston, right? Trump needs Peters out. And we'll go over that. Why? Because Peter's a path to Flynn, Patrick Burns, and the insurrection, just as that meeting in Arizona is. Okay, so in other words, of the Pandora's box and the insurrection, DOJ, and Maxwell. If you've got another path, let us know, because there isn't any. All right, so let's take you on a trip to Arizona. All right, let's take you to the evil of Michelle Moore, who is sending me to my death. Oh, hard to believe? Well, let's investigate everything. Have you seen her have a word of content since? I mean, all you're getting is that she's talking to Jesus, and so is this Mark Taylor. And did you ever investigate Mark Taylor geniuses? Right? This was a scam from the beginning. Godly Granny is her. It's a free platform that you buy their products. That's her. Free. No content, just bullshit.
And I will say, Mike, she does have affiliates, which it might not be an MLM. I saw you posted about a multi-level marketing, but she's got, promo code. People are selling under her. Okay.
Who knows how many? So when I said when I said 113,000, that Natalie goes, well, maybe it's 200,000 a month.
Yeah, she offered that.
She works hard, bullshit. She works hard at stealing. Multi-level marketing. Godly Granny, multi-level marketing. Wave Watch, multi-level marketing. It's all a fraud. Wake up. Both of them aren't talking to God. Get that through your heads.
I don't
they
think any of
told
them
me I was going to get rich. Huh?
I don't think any of them are talking to God. They, like Julie Green and all the prophets out there, God doesn't come down and say, hey, let's talk about the news today. I just don't buy it.
And you shouldn't. What they do is faith is the belief without proof and evidence. So you are the exact sucker for them to attach.
Right.
Listen, when she doesn't talk to you about retirement rollovers and prepayment penalties, that's not a message from God to steal your savings over your lifetime. We're going to run a special on that. We're not done, but we're going to have to take a trip here to Arizona. All right? Hit it, Crash. Now, what you're going to see, or let me see. Let me blow that one up so we can read this. Now, this is an AI. All right? I didn't. Turtle Dove put it up. A friend of ours put this up. And we're going to link the whole complete AI, what do they call it?
The link to this tweet will be down in the description box below this video.
Right. Okay, so let's just take this first page, all right? And this is AI. I had nothing to do with it. Explanation, interception of Pandora's box by General Flynn and Associates. Listen, if you hear a little whistling, I stuck my tooth in. I make no promises it stays in. And if you think I'm whistling now, wait. All right, ready? The intercept represent a pivotal deep state maneuver to neutralize threats to their network. Chronologically construction from ex post source reveals. Ready? Pre-interception context. Pre-December 20th. Gill's investigation exposed New Hampshire as the laundering hub. Predating Pandora's papers. You're damn right. He rejected 50 million hush money multiple times. Published VI billboards and videos. Deep state actors aware of the evidence and implication tying to Epstein, Maxwell, the New Hampshire laundering, sought containment. How's that? All of that has happened. All of that I did before any of you knew. Before Pandora Papers, I told you this was ground zero for laundering. Okay. Now, remember now, the path in, number one. Number two, December 18, 2020, Oval Office meeting during a chaotic White House session involving Flynn, Sidney Powell, and Patrick Burns, two of which was in contact with me. Team contacted Gill directly from the Oval Office. Flynn requested the Pandora's box, ostensibly for Trump, but intercepted to prevent exposure of DOJ FBI ties. Gill compiled, believed to aided Trump, but Flynn withheld origins, framing it to his own intelligence. Well, remember Stacy Burk? She was part of that team with Patrick Burns and I'm saying directly with Carissa Ketchel taking my evidence. Sidney Powell and General Flynn. She's a witness. And what did she tell you? That Trump did get my evidence. Why couldn't Trump open it up? Because he's being blackmailed in the Epstein file. And again, the blackmailer would be, who would put him in jail? Oh, the DOJ, who tried to put him in jail. Remember where Jack Smith was from? Right, the DOJ. You getting this now? Okay. Number three, post-interception obstruction. Flynn interrogated the evidence into narratives, election fraud claims. without crediting Gill obstruction public knowledge. This is tied into a broader plot, included a brokered convention in Arizona, taped confessions by Liz Harris and Shelby Busch, and J6 insurrection, where Flynn and the DOJ aimed to derail Gill's Gill warning of FBI threats. Okay, now, so what you're seeing here now is even AI, read the rest of it. They got it down, but that's it. Those are the paths. All right. So, in other words, that was the Arizona meeting. That was the broken convention. That ties in that you'll hear a tape later, link with Stacy Burk. But me speaking to her, she sat on it for a year. And what they did with her, with this Scott McMahon, that piece of shit, try to discredit me because they're trying to get paid. Remember? Blackmail's extortion, as long as you don't know. So if I tell you and you find out, there goes her lawsuit. You know, the one she's already turned down 400,000. Maybe you should ask her, how many millions are you asking for? Okay? So now, and we'll go on, she's got a problem. All right, hit it. Okay. DEA makes an arrest in Farmington, New Hampshire. We've got a special for that. We're going to show you that that's taking out the Sinaloa cartel, only to replace it by the Chinese. This just happened. And what happens when I'm going to show you another podcast? We're going to create. I told them about Farmington. I told the DOJ about Farmington. I gave it to the DEA and a murder of 2 girls. You're going to see that. That's going to be evidence. But that's why they needed to send me to Arizona. It's the same Sinaloa cartel, but they got busted. They got to get rid of me. What I'm going to give you is not just the cartel. I'm going to give you the protection network of the DOJ, laundering network that same cartel use. You see, we got a problem. Hit it. Oh, Michelle Moore. Right. She's been with them from the beginning, the Flynn team. She was always a shill. Now think about this. There she is, months before she met me, with Juan. Every time I was giving her information on Juan, she was ratting me out. But at the same time, she was protecting the Patriot Underground. Script Keeper, or you'll hear her call him Scrippy the bank robber, the Satanist. Nice guys. Scripty, right? And protected Elvire. And lastly, Ariel. It was always the Flynn network, and she was always in it. Hit it. You're going to see that this has always been the game, and she's getting paid. There isn't a bigger shill in the whole thing. Oh, what do we got here? We go
Juan.
back.
That's Juan again. Juan.
Oh, they're all Juan. I gave you another one, Juan, right? Look at this. One had 260 views. Juan bring her out there. And his kid on the side of the road. We should punch that kid on the side of the road. He's a piece of shit. That's Juan, you know? And who she buddies with? Michelle Moore. One network, always that network, still that network. Is she? Who's a bigger shill than her? Okay, so this is established.
There's a few, Mike.
She's number 1.
Okay.
This bitch tried to murder me. Okay. Now, is there another one with Juan, too? 2 years ago with 264. You got that one? Oh, that was another one. Okay.
I didn't have any more with Michelle.
Okay, that's fine.
I can't handle any more looking at that. But
I know. But there she is, Great Awakening, Michelle. Juan,
I mean, this is her too. But
yes,
it's the picture, you know.
Right. But this was always them. She's in this group. Was always that. They sent her. Woman in distress. I got fired for PPN, Mike, because I covered you. Bullshit. She was the mailbox. I started shooting down everybody. So the mailbox became the mail. Okay, well, let's see what came in the mail. Hit it. Oh, that's right. Nick Elvire. Right. The guy who wanted to make the greatest show on earth, and Mike Gill. He was going to make a movie, and they were going to send me to Tennessee for the movie. You know what I told Michelle after the show? I said he's an assassin, a character assassination, or the assassin that set me up. Day one, this asshole didn't have me for a second because I knew who they'd be sending. Well, let's find out who he is a little bit more. Oh, that's right. He was connected with Flynn. Here's Roger Stone. Now, listen, if you're against Flynn and Stone, you're getting awful sweet there. All right, hit it.
Hang on.
No.
There's too many photos.
I know. Well, you know what?
I gotta
We
scroll.
want them to follow things. Now, if you remember with him, if you read those, it's a confession of Elvira working for General Flynn, hired by Boone Cutler, was working in Black Ops, PSYOP people. The same Carissa that was taking my evidence he was working with. Some tells me Shelby Burk knows him very well. Stacy Burk knows him very well.
Stacy.
I get confused with these bastards very well. We should ask him about that. But we now know who Elvira is. Hit it. Now, who's next on deck?
That one.
Guess what? We've got mail again. And who's it coming through? Michelle Moore. And why is he posting that fruitcake? Wow. Matthew, who the fuck was Matthew? Well,
And
you know what?
What's he running for now? Mayor? No.
Well, he's mayor. I've got a couple campaign pictures he sent me for a little dialogue for his run.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? Somebody with a tape. They all have tapes. And you know what? He gets to run for, what is it, mayor of Sonoma. All right, well, let's take a look at. Oh, there he is again. Wait a minute. He's tied to Flynn. Elvira's tied to Flynn. Michelle's tied to Flynn. And somebody gave me $5,000 the day before I was to take a flight to Arizona. They made it make sure I got my ass down there. And you know why? Because they wanted me to go over the deeds like I did in New Hampshire to catch the cartel members from the politicians, except for they already blocked that and they knew it. So why was I going there? To get snuffed. That's why. And what you're seeing, what's happening with the Sinaloa cartel now across the country is my evidence. When you see Farmington in that arrest, I'm going to show something later in the week that shows you I was on top of that. Named Farmington. Came up with a couple of deaths, too. Witnesses murdered. Okay, hit it. Oh, you won't believe it. These ass tools know each other. They're selling you the sovereignty again. Right. The same people, the same network. Hit it.
Now, I'm not sure. I'm putting it up, but I'm not sure why you have this one again with her. Oh, John.
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah, John.
Michelle has another show. You got mail again? Even in subsequential order? Right.
I forgot about John Taylor. Explain who he is so people know.
Oh, I didn't forget about the son of a bitch. Thaler was working as the lawyer working with Liz Harris against the cartel. Bullshit. She has them on and turns around and they sell the same shit. You know what he's selling? Harris and Matthew. For me to go there, and guess what he wants? Me to turn my evidence over to him. How do you like that? It was completely coordinated in a row. That's why Michelle hasn't said a word and took them all down. All of it down because it's incriminating. See, we're lining it up. All of them are witnesses. All of them to Arizona. Hit it. Uh-oh. Harris herself? There's Patrick Burns. There's Sidney Powell. There's Lindell. Are you getting this? That's who they were. That's who brought me in there, was Harris. Right? You know what they didn't expect? The brokered convention. You hear the rest. But it was a trap to bring me there. Fall out and make a big present that I'm going down to Arizona, Sinaloa cartel, so I wind up dead. And it's the Sinaloa cartel who murdered me. And guess what? they're going to take advantage of that too. And you're going to see that in a second. But that was the thing to go down there. When I took a right-hand turn and hit the broker convention, they all had heart attacks. So when I say I saved Trump's ass, I saved his ass. He wouldn't have been president. It would have worked. And you know who was sitting on him? The DOJ with Jack Smith. And how do you think that would have turned out? Okay, hit it.
I just wanted to say I looked for that tweet to get a clearer picture, and she's deleted that.
You bet your ass.
Yeah, not there anymore.
Yeah. Oh, now see, this is setting up the meeting. Proof of the meeting. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can read it better here. Here it is. Ready? Shelby, I will message you a time for this weekend soon. It was Saturday, right? That's Harris. Oh, no, that's Shelby. Harris goes, great. Jeff Greenspan will be joining us. He's experienced with brokered convention and the bullshit will be pulled. Oh, wait a minute. It is about a meeting. It is on that weekend. And it was about the brokered convention. No shit. If anyone objects, he will bow out. He was there and he's a witness. All right?
Now,
another one.
I'm sorry. The blue is Liz and the orange is Shelby, correct?
Greenspan was, I think Shelby
I'm talking
will message.
The phone. We're having phone.
I know. I think the first one might have been Matthew.
And I didn't know you had phone numbers in this, or I would have blocked that out. I didn't see the.
Well, have him call a cop. All right. Okay.
All right. Are you one?
All right. So now you know it's yes. Okay. Now you know they said it. You know the players, right? And I've got some more names. There's Jeff Greenspan, right? Who was the name of the former Federal Reserve agent. All right. Now he's a witness, a dope, but a witness. Hit it. Now, we had the meeting. We have witnesses in this meeting. They can't deny it. They won't deny it because those tapes are insurance policies. And listen, motto to live by, tits and beer, right? That guy on the left, he was there too. And if you hear the tape, you'll see that me and him had a confrontation. He is in the meeting. He is another witness. Okay? So, just to hit it. All these witnesses will testify. No one will deny shit because, again, it is the protection insurance policy they have. That's why Shelby, Stacy Burk didn't tell you about that call for a year later and tried to sick me with that moron McMahon. They were trying to get paid. Now this is
Matthew and Michelle, right?
Matthew and Michelle. Now, Matthew is reaching out to Michelle. Michelle was on it the whole time. She was working with Matthew. In fact, she was leading Matthew. Now, Matthew goes like this. Ready? What is it?
She wanted the recordings. She said,
I'm telling her to get the recording.
Yeah.
To get it from him. And she's saying, look at Matthew, I don't have the tape. Oh, my God. Can you people stop? Liz Harris has the tape. Liz Harris won't give it up either. Liz Harris won't get it up either. Why is either if he just doesn't have one? He ain't giving it up, and either is she. Either.
I'm not seeing if I might be on the wrong one here. I don't see where you're reading that. This one that I have.
I got it. Okay. I know what you're saying. Okay. We are literally trying to get it from her. It proves how the meeting actually took place. Now I'm going to read yours. That was the secondary one. But that was the let me see. Good morning, Matthew. Mike says you recorded Saturday's meeting with Shelby Busch. Please upload it to your folder in my box ASAP. Up to my folder in the box. Boy, she had a folder. I want to listen to it. Liz Harris recorded it. She was wearing a wire in her underwear. Liz specially told me not to record, that she would take care of it. You tell this moron, this CIA piece of shit with Flynn, who I believe kept going, he wanted me to show a lot of sand, a lot in Arizona, in the desert, multiple times, and this asshole's got a gun. I go on. told me not to wear it. You tell him what he's wearing it. I regret listening to her at this point. I'm sure you do. I am not happy with I'm being put in a corner because I was truthful in the meeting when Shelby asked me if I was the leak. I got Liz to confess that she told me that make about the post. Right. Liz sabotaged Shelby Busch because that's the shit they do. But in the broken convention, I had Matthew in front of Shelby Busch. Shelby Busch turned around, confronted Matthew, and said, Liz Harris told me to do it. So if you don't think these pieces of shit will flip, look how fast that was. Why would getting Liz to confess be a good thing? I'm lost. Sure, she's lost. Okay. It wasn't a mission of mine. Shelby asked me. Okay. So now, hit it. So now you know they're talking. She's denying that she's got the tape, but he does. They all have a tape. That's why that Patricia, who's a mole, okay, we read that. You can skip that one. As a mole, was saying he cited Matthew in Concord, New Hampshire. Isn't that funny? Speaking of all those moles that we said, right? Didn't they all turn out to be moles? All of them? All right, let's hit this now. Ready? No, this is Matthew speaking to Liz Harris. Mike was in my home. I now understand how you felt when you were in your home. Wow. I was in his home. Liz, you are so right about Stacy. What is she right about? A broker convention? Liz, we need that recording. Never. Well, wait a minute. She didn't say, I don't have it. Wouldn't that be the response? Never. Do you know why he's asking? He's setting her up and saving his. Don't you understand that this will help the RNC to understand Shelby? And you don't want a broken convention. What? This was after the meeting. The meeting wasn't about the brokered convention and the confession of the same people they use for the insurrection plot with Flynn. We've got the same people. Who else would Flynn use? His same team. The same Shelby Busch who got 700,000 from Patrick Byrne. That's on the tape. Called out the CIA in the podcasters, 98%. You don't think Michelle's part of that 98%? She starts at 1. Well, let's see. We have plenty of evidence. Funny, we didn't see it. Well, I guess I can only go on the fact that I trust you. What a piece of shit. But Liz, I'm going to be, again, labeled as one who has the tape, not just you. So please, whatever the evidence you have, I hope you're protecting the convention. So the whole thing was crap. He has a tape. They all have a tape. They all know what it was. They all referred to it as the convention. And why was it so dangerous? Okay, you can let me see that.
I didn't know if you want. It was Matthew. Matthew's trying to cover his own butt by posting all this stuff here.
And then, right, and that title on. See, he copied her and did that to protect himself and then posted it.
Right.
And you remember, I hope you know, I'm being the fall guy for anyone, including Liz Harris. What are you the fall guy for? Remember, after this, they had an attempt on Trump's life right after, before the convention. I don't have the recording. Liz does. Tuesday, I asked her for it. She refused to give it up. I will be making a public statement soon. Wow, thank God for that, huh? He's covering his ass and he's trying to make a deal, which is why his bony ass was in New Hampshire. But, again, what that brokered convention meeting happened. Nobody else stopped it. No one else told you. Do you know who told Trump? Flynn. Oh, it's beautiful. Hit it. Okay. Another post of Matt. How about we discuss Michelle Moore's private investigator who tried to set me up? Who turned around and wrote all this negative shit? Michelle, I got smoked that were going to turn around and destroy my name afterwards. You know who's going to pick up the cartel and so? Ariel, which is why we hit a roadblock with Michelle. The investigator lives in Maricopa County, convenient. in Salona with that shithead. Same town. They had me move there. She uses an investigator from Arizona. Mike Gill all of a sudden uses me to get to Arizona and pulls the stunt with the delegation, brokered convention, and screws over Liz Harris and Shelby Busch. You're welcome. That was the brokered convention. I didn't tell Michelle Moore. I didn't tell any of them. I set it up and said, hey, this is what's coming down. They didn't know who sent me or how I knew, but they were afraid Trump was behind it. So they did. So I did screw it up. He goes, think about it. Who was working with Michelle Moore? This had to be premeditated. Not by Michelle Moore. She was working with you, you assholes. By me. So we did intercept that. We did stop that meeting. Otherwise, Trump wouldn't have been president. And then they tried to assassinate him after to cancel him out. Now, you might be wondering why Trump didn't pull the trigger. Stacy Burk wants to help you with that. We'll read that. Okay, hit it, Crash. So what happened afterwards? Liz Harris and I reached out to her, and Matthew tapes that to my door. Now, I didn't know it was that piece of shit and his friend, that guy Luke. If I did, I would have invited him in and beat the piss out of both of them and sent them home. But here he is threatening me. Let me see. Arizona are standing on a united front, really, and will not tolerate any more outside influence. Hey, wait a minute, you love me. You were sending me there to take out the cartel. The night of the brokered convention, that night, you're threatening me? We will not back down. We will do whatever we can to protect our state. Oh, I'm attacking Arizona by making the world, the country, understand that there was a sabotage. Oh, I don't know. Who would have profited? Who was motivated to do this? Oh, I don't know. Chris Sununu and Haley? Who do you think would have been the replacement? It wasn't Haley. Haley was behind the brokered convention with Flynn and Sununu, which is why Pinhead Matthew went to New Hampshire. Funny. All these bastards keep getting back to New Hampshire.
Mike, can I add something about this real quick?
Yes.
I don't know what people know, what people don't know, so I'm just going to repeat it. They requested you go out there to Arizona.
Yes.
Liz Harris, and we have the phone call that was recorded as well.
Yes.
And so they wanted you to go find the cartel and with the deeds and all that. That was right. The plan. Her collaborating with you to get you out there. And then this happened after you found out or figured out the broker convention.
Right.
They flipped that quick of now you're hated because you suddenly figured out the plan, I guess. And now
flipped in hours.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it wasn't about the cartel because it was never about the cartel, and they shut down investigating the deeds. Right. Okay. Stop gaslighting and get out of Arizona. You are not welcome here. You have been warned. Oh, listen, if I've got to worry about a gay waiter from New York, we're in trouble. Remember, I'm the guy who puts the cartels on my signs and invite them over to the house for a gunfight. Now, next. Some of these little threatening things for our boy. I should have broken.
Now, remember, this is the guy running for, I think, mayor. I could be wrong.
Oh, he's running for mayor now. But this was the same days and days after. It kept on running. I have many more and pictures too, but of him threatening my life as I was in Arizona. I should have broken your fucking legs, you piece of shit, especially when you disrespected me in my house. You are lucky, honestly, very lucky. I'm not mad of 10 years ago. Really? Your legs and lungs would be fucked. How do you fuck someone's guy's lungs? And you know what? And I don't want to know the answer to that.
I think because you're going to run from him, that little guy.
You don't know how bad I want to punch this bastard.
I do know.
We know your location, and you keep running. Wow. But we will always be right behind you, watching you every move. Keep it up, bro. You're with Arizona. And now we're going to finish what you started. You are an FBI informant. So you tell your feds to, oh, right, I'm an FBI informant. You know what? These guys are so stupid. But you keep buying their bullshit. This is the stuff they play with. No, you are. Hey, you're reading it, right? And there's more. All right, hit it. I just called the cops, remember? 5 hours, 4 calls, 911 emergency. That's the case number. You don't think the cops knew what was going on? You don't think the brokered convention there? Listen, cops have been stopping me moving forward. They are the bottom of the ladder here. They do what they're told. All right, hit it. So there we go. Brokered convention, same day, and I'm having them sneak into my room. You ready? Right after this, right? Trump goes, oh, I've got some disruptions in the convention from Arizona, right? You think this guy sees what's coming? How about this? We're just finding out some of the tariffs might be illegal. What the fuck are we doing? Now, who told him? Flynn. Do you know why Flynn told him? Because he was afraid I was telling him. So he had to head it off. Well, let's see what we got here. Michelle, President Trump mobilized to squash disloyalty with the Arizona GOP. No shit. Now, anybody else catch it? If you think that meeting didn't happen, you think this would be in the news? You think they've been stopping it? No. They diffused it because the danger, what was recorded in that room. And it's tied to the insurrection. And you know what? Just might be easier to kill him, which happened. The assassination attempt happened right after. The controversy has bitterly divided the state's party in recent weeks, both sides claiming to carry out Trump's will. Party insiders had speculation that several members of the Arizona delegation next month's Republican convention in Milwaukee was involved in a plot to undermine the former president. No shit. Really? I was there first. I set that out. This wouldn't have happened otherwise. Now, the suspected ringleader was Shelby Busch. Holy shit. They didn't come out. I came out afterwards. Chair of the election focus group. We, the people of Arizona Alliance PAC. They turned around and took 700,000 from Patrick Burns. On tape, by the way. And then you're going to hear the same thing on tape. That they plotted the insurrection with Flynn in the 2020 election. Now, as suspected ringleader was Shelby Busch, chair of the election focused. We the People Arizona and chair delegation of the GOP convention. She was to come under suspicion from Fraction Party because her ties to General Flynn. Well, maybe you want to listen to the tape where she confessed. She had a suspicion fraction where she attended. Trump's former national security advisor and was accused of the exhibit of circulating news deemed anti-Republican behavior. Oh, he did do it. How do you like that? And I swear to God, I didn't catch that till now. He turns around. You want to get Trump? Save his life. You know what? We'll save the broken convention. Gill got us as a recording. We got too many witnesses. Smoke him. We'll tell Trump, I caught it. He caught it. It was his plot, you pinheads. I mean, how stupid can all you people be not to see this shit? I only took a fucking plane there, figured it out, put it together, and shot him right in the ass. Well, hit it, please.
You had too much energy drink today, didn't you?
I did. It was a little later, so
that was my fault.
No, it's okay. All right. But hey, listen, you know what? Let's have some fun. We can coordinate this one. Oh, we're gonna make sure that's one. Is it? I'm not sure what that one is. Hold on.
Well, it said I don't know who it's between. You don't have it. It's something about you're lying or you're saying I'm not.
That's Liz Harris. If you know what, can you read that one? I'm not sure I see that one here.
Oh, okay. Well, you have. Who's the orange? Is that I'm not saying you're lying. Okay, Liz probably said I'm not saying
that's
you're lying.
Liz Harris. I'm in the blue.
It's you're in the blue. It says I'm not saying you did say I was lying. What I'm saying is the American people need to hear the truth, and that the evidence is critical at this time, knowing what they're planning, knowing who they are, knowing what they've done before. Your question to yourself should be, how do we stop this, and how do we prevent? How do we, you don't put any punctuation. How do we prevent Flynn from creating another J6? Isn't that paramount? Is there something more important than that?
I found it. I found it. I talk into the
I
speaker.
know, I know.
So in other words, I'm saying to her to play the tape.
Right.
This is the planning of that. And she said, listen to Scott about another man. She's trying to throw me off into something
She's
else.
she's distracting you. Okay.
Deflecting. That's what they do.
Yeah, yeah.
Watch this. It's exactly what I thought and the plan, and not saying he isn't working for the opposition. He probably is. She's worried about an scapegoat, and that's exactly what I was saying. This is why we have to go on air. See, she was afraid who I was coming from, Shelby Busch.
No,
This,
Liz.
Liz and Shelby were
Okay.
both. This is why they had it. This is why you have to go on the air. Play the recording. It's what separates. It will call them all out and not lying with him. This is but what the American people stop thinking like a politician. And I don't mean to be arrogant, but this is the time we're going to have to be able be. I am a lot smarter than all these people you're involved with. Okay, and I go on. You can hit it. I will speak on that meeting. I was saying I was going on the show. I will speak on that meeting, what I think it meant and where we are and what we have to do. I'm here for the people. I don't play politics. I'm not here for politics. I don't play politics. Liz fucking Harris don't play
Really?
politics. I mean, Jesus.
That's
Well, the
fun.
people have to hear that tape. It is important not for them to hear it. I'm on that tape. You can't complain about people not having your back when you don't have theirs. What is it when with Arizona? It will be sad to leave Arizona.
She said, "I will be sad if you leave Arizona."
Right. Remember how
Really?
there's
She's
right. Matthew saying get out of Arizona. She's saying get out of Arizona. She didn't say she didn't have the tape. She does have the tape.
right.
And she's using it as blackmail. Okay. Hit it, Crash. So in other words, Liz Harris again says that she has the tape. Remember what's on that tape. It's the brokered convention that was the setup with Sununu and Haley along with Flynn. But remember, Maxwell opens to the DOJ. This opens to the DOJ. That was the DOJ plan. These are the people behind the implementation. You want to end this corruption? You want to get to this? That's Maxwell. That's that brokered convention and the insurrection with Flynn. Okay. You know what happens next? Who sent me there? Why? Planet Fitness. I gave you Planet Fitness money launder distribution across the country, right into the Sinaloa cartel. How does Ariel know that? And there he is, right? Planet Fitness, money laundering. I'm supposed to be dead. Pinheads riding, he's putting Epoch Times, James O'Keefe, Planet Fitness. No one puts a multi-billion-dollar company and targets them, call them money laundering, drug distribution, and trafficking without being right. How did he know? And if you notice how all the Sinaloa cartel heads are being busted, you see how they were busted in New Hampshire, which I just showed you? You don't think that's coordinated? Of course it's coordinated. I was supposed to be gone. And then he's jumping on Planet Fitness. No shit, you piece of shit. That's Flynn. Who took my evidence but Flynn? That's who Ariel is. He's the handler working with Michelle and the Arizona move. Harris couldn't keep on speaking about Ariel back and forth while we were in Arizona. There's the connection. Bye-bye, Gill. And then all of a sudden, he's floating the boat with the Sinaloa cartel. Hit it. Well, now you got Ariel. And Ariel, I'll show you, also breaks into the politicians in Arizona, the ones I was supposed to go there to identify through the deeds, except for they were already identified. Who knew that? The Department of Justice. Who gave it to shithead? The Department of Justice. They just needed me gone. Remember Lullen, the U.S. attorney? Remember the evidence that was given to A.G. Barr and Sessions? That evidence. This is Michelle now. When I confront Ariel, say, hey, this is what he was doing. This is who this. But it was a bridge too far. It was her handler. She already stopped me with Skippy. She's LV, right, with script keeper, the piece of shit, Josh Young. And then Elvira and Patriot Underground too. She's pointed out the network. People don't care about fighting. I was going to out Ariel. I said no. Now there's more on these text messages, and you're going to get to see them all. We're going to be doing that podcast too on Michelle Moore and the fraud. But this is all a fight. Care about the truth. They are lying to them. Do you believe overlords control the earth and we're with the aliens? That's what Ariel's selling you. Well, he's trying to get me smoked. She goes, financial courts. Oh, you want to hear financial court? Think, since I've been gone, have you heard any of the courts? You hear any content at all? Then I'm out if you don't say, okay, Friday show didn't get picked up. Don't care about week after week. Oh, wait a minute. You care about ratings? Do you know those shows right after the brokered convention? Do you know why we got 335,000 views now on the brokered convention? That's why. All of a sudden, a Friday show, what do we get? 50, 60,000? Not good enough? Really? She ain't broke that number since, has she? This is what I texted her. Ready? Ariel works with Flynn. Trump's going to be in trouble here. This is why he has lost the election by whiskers. That's Peters and that's Ellis on the move. Tina Peters, when Trump comes out and says, hey, I'm shutting that door, that's what that means. I already forecasted Peters was going to get stopped. Who was the other judge? Janice Ellis, who got immunity. That was the Department of Justice. That was Jack Smith. That door closed. So this is unbelievable clear. All tell you they hate Flynn. They work for Flynn. All of them. CIA, none of them were for Trump. Zero. They were in a flip, including her. There is no real help. It has to be put together. All these people cheated for years, and they took their money. They lied to them. They were all worked for Flynn. Why do you think they all wanted me on their side? Listen, do you remember they were calling me the hero? They were calling me one of the most important people of our time, the closer. It was them. They had to flip me. Flynn, do what you think. All they want to do, the side. Why do you think they had me here? That tape. So I would flip on Trump. And it wasn't about Trump. It was about the people. And Flynn was the traitor. Right. It's about Trump. Both sides are compromised. Both sides are corrupt. If you can be blackmailed, you cannot be president. If you can't open the Epstein files, you cannot be president. Simple. Who blackmailing? Is it China? They just moved 600,000 students in. Did you see the podcast, how they're moving into New Hampshire? They're taking out the cartel, the Sinaloa cartel, and the Chinese are moving in. After all, they're the parents of fentanyl. Tomorrow is 9/11. Oh, Jesus, we're going to do 9/11 again. You want to know about 9/11. You don't want to hear this. You want to hear 9/11. Has she done that show? This is what they care about. They want to know the truth. They don't want to understand what happened. It is critical. This is why I'm here and why I'm doing this. Let's not forget, I risked my life to be there. All right. So she knew that too, but she was also giving up my location, which is why I had a couple of CIA visits. I cannot tell people this. I've been here to do this. Who is he? Meaning, if I can't tell you what's happening, then what am I doing? Most of the viewers don't even care who he is. Ariel, you don't care? Why do you think he doesn't give you his name? His face, his voice, his location, nothing. One gives you more than that, and they're both traitorous shits. You don't know who he is. You're going to love the next part. You're guessing. I saw all that. No, I'm not guessing. 98%. Why do you think he went after Tate? Because he said big accounts at CIA. They have to be information. How do you think it gets busted? This a mile long of Arizona. Him posting about the same topic personally, like Planet Fitness, helped us. That was that Planet Fitness thing. Ariel was helping us pumping Planet Fitness. Well, guess what? I was supposed to be dead. Ariel's going to say, look, Flynn did it. He got the cartel. Flynn was going to ride that. I'm not okay with going after Ariel. Absolutely not. Remember, we get a treat. Stop making this about low-life bottom feeders and drama. Let's stay focused on issues viewers care about. Ready? Read the board. She ain't giving you shit. Do the court updates. She give you any of those? Do financial updates. Make money, sell my bullshit. Don't tell the people the truth on stuff that matters, like a broken convention, like Ariel being that handler, like representing that cartel.
She sounds like a handler by telling you, that stuff. That's all the stuff these podcasters scam us with.
Right. She is all of that. She's keeping she opened the mailbox. They had my address. They had my location. They knew I was broke. They knew I was starving. Michelle Moore. Right. That's who that is. He runs the show Overlords and Werewolves. Who do you think they run if he's not helping us? He didn't want me going after him. Educate on crypto. You want to hear more bullshit on crypto, right?
I was going to say, all you're going to say about crypto is it's bullshit.
It's don't do it. It's involved in money laundering. Listen, what I know is beyond everybody else on the subject that I'm giving you here. I have kept to the path. I'm not a podcaster. I'm the one who built this box of incrimination. I tied them all together. We can take them all out. You're looking at history. Dead or alive, you're looking at history. I cannot tell the people this is what I've been able to do and who he is. All right, hit it. And there's the Planet Fitness. She knew. Do you know she's talked with Mike Grendel, the owner of Planet Fitness, which is why all these New Hampshire moles were involving Grendel, were involving Sununu. They were libertarians. Every one of them flipped. How was Grendel going to get back Planet Fitness? If Planet Fitness changes hand because its connection with the Sinaloa cartel, the pieces, the dominoes are already falling in place. Now, right after this, days after this, Michelle Moore, I now have proof that Ariel knows Elvira CIA. What? Is that a good thing? Did you question her on that? How does she know about Ariel knows? Oh, and she goes on, he's not a Fed, he's a CIA asset. Oh, so you're saying that the CIA, and we now have evidence that Flynn fired Elvira, who wanted to make a movie and go to Tennessee, what Michelle is. Ain't that interesting? So wait a minute. I'm out of line. He's calling her a CIA asset. And that Ariel knows that. And you know something? This was just this month. You think Michelle distanced herself from Ariel? In fact, here's the same thing. Oh, for all the struggles that I want to give words of encouragement. Listen. Oh, he's a riot. Oh, wait a minute. Again in August, when Britney started dancing on 2 butcher nights. That's another one, right? Hit the next one.
Okay. Is there another Ariel? Hang on.
No, yeah, there's the Roundup Sinaloa cartel.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just so you know, right? She's laughing with them a year later. This is what he put out there when I just got out of there. He was giving you the Sinaloa cartel Roundup by names, judges, councilmen, and it goes on and on. I went, but how did he fucking know? Did you read it in the papers? How did he know about Planet Fitness? It was already in a movie. It is the DOJ. Who do you think does the immunities and does the prosecuting? They do. How do you think he knew? They were trying to take credit for it. And you know why they're shutting down the Sinaloa cartel? Because they don't need them. What did I tell you? The easiest path to the DOJ is through the Sinaloa Anagos cartel. Uh-oh. Bang. That's what's happened. And you'll love the next podcast. It's proof and evidence that you have never seen. But he was setting it up on the deed. And when I challenged him, you know what Ariel said? Well, I copied from the deeds. The deeds, you mean they shut down? So that was a lie. Okay. So now you know what? I was watching Barbara. You know all these moles that I have? I don't tell you I'm watching, but I'm watching. You are well aware they will be using the broken convention to remove Trump for being the Republican president candidate. What you're doing is being a distraction to keep your eyes and ears off of it. Shame on you. She said, now, listen with Ivan. Now, think about this. That was the meeting, and it did happen, and it would incriminate Flynn. Who responds? You have my number, Mike. And I do have his number. They wanted me to flip. I have all their numbers. Ask Raiklan. You know what? When you ask Raiklan, ask him, is Mike Gill a patriot? Even that asshole, I have to tell you, he may not want to say much. But why do you think when we speak, she speaks of the broken convention, Raiklan responds and says, have me call him. You don't find that interesting? Okay, next. Now, in that Arizona, now this would, again, during this time, who benefits? If Trump's out, who was left running? Haley, military industrial complex. Did we just drop a couple of bombs in Iran? That's exactly what she wanted. And it's what the DOJ wanted in a military industrial complex. And Donald Trump did that because he can be blackmailed. And there's Sununu, the Busch family hit it. That was behind it. That was the motivation. And if you get Sununu, which is why all these assholes are from New Hampshire, is Anagos and the cartels. And those casinos are part of the Pandora's box. Don't forget. Who stopped Penn National from in New Hampshire? Who turned around and turned down $25 million from Penn National? Those same casinos that are laundering the money. Have you seen how much sports betting are out there now? That's the laundering network. That's why you're down 37 trillion. Okay. But you see where this leads? Back to New Hampshire, back into the cartel, just as they're going down. You see that Farmington one? Farmington has 6,700 people in it. I tied Farmington. I'm going to show you evidence that the DOJ and the DEA had from Farmington.
Now, what you're saying, Mike, is you talked about Farmington long ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to show you a tape from Anonymous that was 8 years ago.
Right.
That led to the death of those two girls that were witnesses. They all know. All right. But you see, the cartel. And over the cartel, the simplest way to open and incriminate the protection of the DOJ. You protect that, Anagos is inside the laundering network, just as Maxwell was. Who was protecting it at the time? Sununu. Who's the governor now? Ayotte, which was the governor before then, the AG, who was keeping the box closed. See? Everything's related. And all what's happening now. Okay, hit it. Now, here's a problem now. Remember those doors? Tina Peters was a door. She goes to the door to Flynn. This Patrick Burns, the same piece of shit in the Oval Office, the same one who gave $700,000 to Shelby Busch, same one. So what do we have? Hit it. We've got Trump saying, uh-oh, we can let Peters go because Trump can't give you Flynn because Flynn's working for the DOJ. He can't get you the DOJ because the DOJ is sitting on the Epstein files. See, that's a stalemate. Now, they let go of her. So now Trump's saying, let her go. He threatens to take harsh measures. Boy, that's pretty serious. When has he ever come out and said that? All those J6er people, all those people that were looking for immunity, you didn't hear that language. You know why? Because it got his ass name on it. Right. Now, if you get Tina Peters, you get the same crew in the Arizona brokered convention with the confession of Busch and Harris about that insurrection and Flynn's involvement and Burns and the CIA. All right. So now you see that door's got to close. This door's got to close. And we've got Stacy Burk. Now listen, let me see this here. Okay. Now, remember, Burk is trying to get paid. She ain't giving you shit. She gives you this because that door of leveraging Flynn with Trump just closed. Because if Trump closed the door on Peters, you ain't going to hear Busch and Harris. You got it? And you're not going to hear Stacy Burk. So Burk ain't getting paid. So she's pointing the finger at, well, I don't know. Let's find out. With the help of Grok, the Peters case reveals a network Trump allied figures. Hayes, Flynn, Byrne, Watkins, deeply involved in the election denialism and the Mesa County breach. They approximately to Trump through retweets, Oval Office meetings, and shared dialogues is undeniable. Yet the media of Democratic prosecutors have narrowly on Peters avoiding the broader Trump's fault narrative. You notice how she switched to Trump? Trump to Peters, she's got no leverage. You know who her leverage is? Me.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't hear the tape. Remember? Blackmail's only good if you don't know. Don't have the people hearing the tape. Remember, it'll be linked on the bottom. And that tape was right after the meeting. Whether it's due to legal constraints, narrative fatigue, or strategic caution, it's a department of expected playbook. The dots there to connect. But for now, the story remains curiously localized. Arizona. Keep an eye on any future federal investigation that could shift the narrative dramatically. You're right to send something's off in the narrative surrounding Peters' election infrastructure breach and its connections to figures like Colin Haynes, Michael Flynn, Patrick Burns, and Ron Walker, individual ties to Trump's orbit. Ain't that funny? Remember the same people who tied in Arizona. The absence of full-throated Trump to blame storyline from the media outlet and Democratic process, despite these links, is indeed striking, given that the well-documented tendency to pin the controversies on Trump. Let's unpack the facts and explore the connections and consider why the narrative been muted, meaning covered up, right? It's because she knows that Peters was working with the same group and that Peters is guilty. She did exactly what they were doing in Arizona, which is why I was on the same meetings as Tina Peters with Juan. The same meetings that turns out that we have information, and we'll give you later with the Michelle Moore thing. Michelle was on. She knows. Tina Peters, the former Mesa County, Colorado clerk, was convicted on August 24th on 7 charges, including 4 felonies, for orchestrating a data breach from the election system in 21. She allowed unauthorized individuals, later identified as Colin Hayes, to access and copy sensitive election equipment data, including voting machine hard drives, during a software update. They were corrupting it and at the same time trying to say, well, we're trying to save it. We're trying to expose it. This breach driven the 2020 election fraud conspiracy. This driven the election. And for the 4 years after, they made millions now, didn't they? The same Flynn group telling you of the insurrection. In fact, they sent you to jail on J6. Same assholes. He was behind it all out there saying, hey, come on, Burns and Flynn and Jones, all of it. The players in their Trump connections. See, she's tying in Trump. And it's true. The individual involved have clear ties to Trump, inner circle, border election denial movement, which makes the lack of direction and Trump's fault narrative curious. Let's break it down. Soon as Trump said about Peters, she goes, we ain't getting paid. It's up to Trump. Remember, I jumped over Trump. We got to get to the DOJ. I'm saying he's blackmailed. It's DOJ. She ain't telling you DOJ, yet she has to figure it out. Colin Hayes, a professional pro surfer turned self-educated cyber expert and QAnon opponent. Hayes staffed a synthetic badge belonging to Gerald Wood. Really? That's criminal, folks. Infiltrated the Mesa County election offices. He copied sensitive election data and reported on FaceTime call with Patrick Burns calling the breach, admitting to using someone else's badge. Hayes denied with Peters. Sharona Bishop, right wing, Rep. Lauren Beaufort. Okay, so now there's Patrick Burns. This is what was done, right? And again, Trump's fault. Michael Flynn, the former national security fire, has been a prominent election denier. Right, there's the money. There's Lynn Wood, too, that piece of shit. Faith. He called for Peters to be moved federal custody, claiming she had critical information about the 2020 election and was part of a broader effort to push the vote audit in multiple states. Along with Sidney Powell Flynn, was part of the actually efforts to gain access to the voting machines in Arizona as well as Antrim County, Michigan. Wow, they were trying to get in the Arizona machines. You want to listen to that tape? This is they did in Colorado and corrupted Michigan. Then later on, Patrick Byrne was questioned. He goes, "Yeah, I don't know about that Michigan thing. It was all bullshit." That's when Patrick Byrne says, the reporter goes, "You're either a great hero or a great traitor. Who do you think he is? Or do you want to believe the bullshit about he working with the FBI to get Hillary Clinton?" Right. All right. Now listen. As part of the continued push, in December 2020, Flynn, alongside Patrick Byrne and Sidney Powell, met with Trump in the Oval Office to urge him to use the National Guard to seize voting machines. Any idea they pitched response, alleged election fraud. Flynn's nonprofit, the American Project, also funded groups supporting election. Wait a minute now. Could you jump to those two text messages from the Oval Office? Just I think now is a good time. Do you remember what happened from the Oval Office? Oh, that's right. These assholes reached out to me. You see that? December 18, 2020, and she knows it too. So why, at the moment of implementation, to have Trump sign a lawsuit that would have incriminated him? Well, there it is. Hit the next one, too. And what did they, oh, that's it, you already did. What did they want? The affidavit. What did they want? The settlement agreement. What did I tell you? The settlement agreement was a door to the Pandora's box. Flynn wanted it. Let's go back to that same post. Patrick Burns, the former overstockee, admitted paying Colin Hayes to access the Mesa County election system. It was on FaceTime called during the breach. Financial reporting records show that Byrne paid the PAC of Shelby Busch $750. She said $700. But you know what? We'll split the difference. Reportedly for Bush's assistance in the effort to gain access to the voting machines in Arizona. She confessed to that. By Byrne and Busch were involved in Arizona shortly after the election, for which Byrne stated he was in communication with the Department of Homeland Security and the federal authorities at the time regarding the incident. Byrne had been a major financial backer of Flynn's American Project, which donated $100,000 supporting Peters' failed 22 campaign for Colorado Secretary of State. Byrne also threatened violence against the judge. He threatened to kill him with a piano wire. Now, how do you get away with that unless you're protected by the DOJ? You may want to try it out. We'll see how it works for you. And if you remember that judge, he was what I call the no fucking around judge. Case was dropped referring, oh, there it is, piano wire and a blowtorch. Oh, I forgot the blowtorch.
Yeah, I forgot that too.
Yeah. His Oval Office meeting with Flynn and Powell presented a plan to secure voting machines. There you go. So in other words, we're finding it happen. They're threatening even the judge. It was all one. That's why when Burke sees that thing fell with cheaters, she's next. But again, which is why I got to go away. When the guy don't take a deal all the way to the end. Watkins, Mesa County data, the channel. Trump frequently retweeted Watkins containing leading up to J6, amplifying his reach. And it had to do with Q. Trump's role, Trump himself amplified the narrative by posting social on August 21st, 2025. You see, this came out after that. She knew when Trump was closing the Peter doors, he was going to close the Arizona door. He was going to protect Flynn and the insurrection plot of the DOJ. She then says, Trump, you did it. Ready? Claiming she did nothing wrong except catching Democrats cheating the election. Listen, the Democrats and Republicans, it's all corrupt, right? Think about this. They were right, you were right, and you're both wrong. All parties suck. right? Watkins, 2020, early 21. Associates burn and place him on close proximity to the election denial movement. Why the muted narrative? So she's finishing this. Ready? So in other words, why isn't anybody acting on this when it makes so much sense? Because it's DOJ protected. It is the right question, but from somebody who wants to get paid. Given these connections, you'd expect media outlets, Democratic prosecutors, to wave narratives directly implicating Trump, as he's been in the case from the story. Why isn't the Democrats attacking Trump? Well, you know what Hillary Clinton said last week? Well, when it comes to the Epstein files, I agree with Trump. Finally on something. They're both in it. Get Trump's playbook. Yet the coverage, local focus has been largely zeroed in on Peters herself and less emphasis on the broader network because it's the DOJ and it's a path. What's off about this? The media and the Democratic process have been quick to tie Trump to controversy, yet here, despite the clear links, Trump's retweets to Watkins, Flynn's, Patrick Burns' Oval Office meeting, which now I'm a witness, always was, Hayes' direct role in the breach. They stopped short of the usual Trump the blame conclusion. Right. This could reflect a strategic choice to avoid overreach, a lack of federal legal transact, or simply have focus on the most probable case. However, it's possible that the full scope of these connections hasn't been fully investigated. Meaning you still got time. Bullshit. However, the omission feels particularly odd, given the potential of national security implications of leaking election data, especially with Watkins' public dissemination on Telegram, a narrative as Trump allies threaten election integrity. You see, it opens the door to the DOJ, which is all of them. All right? That's why. And that's why Stacy Burk is coming out with that. And I again say, listen to that tape. It's 46 minutes, and you hear what I said happened in that meeting. And remember, she sat on it and then became a denier. Oh, with McMahon. And McMahon turned around and trying to reach Matthew. Oh, he's a pathological liar because he told her what happened in the tape. I can't have that. You see, this is, now think about this. The DOJ, the insurrection, was started by the DOJ and implemented by Flynn to go around this country and try to incite you on election fraud. And did it work? You remember J6 and the months after? And think of the billions that they made with those trucks and those vans and selling you. You went to jail. Your freedom. And it was a plot from the DOJ. Now, Flynn's buddies are who? Well, wait a minute now. We've got Patel and Bongino. Oh, and now we got Burk Matthews. All Flynn pieces of shit and tied to him. That's your FBI. And now let's go to the AG. Well, Claude Blanche, the assistant, Trump's personal lawyer, personally met with Maxwell. You can't be that dumb, right? And then Bondi, who's tied to Maxwell as the U.S. attorney. Oh, Department of Justice. And the prosecutor, Costa, was told to let him off. I mean, but see, you want to know where we are? Flynn's in position with his people because his people are the ones that are going to protect him. That's the trade the DOJ made. These people work with the Department of Justice already. Now they're in place. Why? Because you've shifted to the right. It's all the Democrats. It's both of them. Yeah. Which is why nobody's going after them, which is why no one's giving the truth. And you're going to find this cartel moves that we're going to show you was the path in. Why did I have to go? And listen, if they killed me and said it was the cartel, then all these things coming up, they would have attacked my character. Flynn would have taken credit. Here was the Pandora's box, but they're not opening the Pandora's box. The cartel is the limited strike. They needed something to cover this. You're going to see child trafficking. You're going to see the cartel. You're going to see, you've been seeing it all of a sudden. But you're not going to get into the DOJ protection. You're not going to get into the laundering network. They're going to stop there. That's what they've got to stop. And otherwise, they're just changing hands. And they're changing hands, and who moved in? The fucking Chinese. And Trump just turned around and allowed 600,000 Chinese students. Our colleges are already radicalized. Let's throw 600,000 more screaming Chinamen in there, right? As they turn around and have a gateway through Maine and New Hampshire and the laundering network and plugged into the same cartel that was in there, the same money laundering that was in there, that Maxwell would have told you, that I told you, that I told you before Pandora Papers did. 935 billion. You know, that's the NFL and the NBA. All of them in one little sleepy town, little city. And then Farmington, Sinaloa Cartel, and Farmington, New Hampshire, 6,700. Wait till you hear the rest of this bullshit. But when I tell you, I didn't save Trump for this. The one thought I had was Trump didn't know that Flynn didn't give him that evidence. Now I knew by the protection and not releasing Maxwell, he's in the Epstein files. So if you can be blackmailed, you cannot be president. And I don't trust Musk. You notice how he backed off bankruptcy, Epstein files. And who's sitting in second place? J.D. Vance. We've been all played. We're fighting the wealth of this world, the evil wealth of this world. The 99.9% of us and all of us, the rest, can go out and hang. You notice the big, beautiful bill was all bullshit, even with the tariffs. They didn't figure legally they could do it. They couldn't do it. They couldn't tell you inflation. You noticed that the 30-year bond, the 10-year bond isn't going down, folks? All this rate cutting bullshit, they're all lying to you because they stole the money. The Pandora's box gets you the money back. The way out is the way in. You know how you got in trouble? They were stealing your money. Who were they going through? The Senate, the Congress? Right. We audit them. 100 people in the Senate. You can't audit them. They audit you. Investigate each and every one of them. They are all suspects. And listen, and if one's shown to be innocent, I want you to take their ass out, throw out the fucking window. They didn't turn anybody else in. This isn't a time for complicity. You're on the side of the American people and your children and generations. I'm going to tell you that 37 trillion. These bastards have more than that. When you attack the pharmaceutical industry getting paid, when you're going after healthcare, you're going after all these people, the welfare fraud, all of this fraud with the Medicaid fraud. That's what's coming back to the hospitals, distribution. That's what's the treatment centers. We take their money. Listen, they've got 99% of the wealth in this world. You've got 1%. I say we even it up. If you're guilty, you take everything. They do it to you.
All
You
right.
want to get back? That's how get back. You want to see this country where you have no debt, where you got health care paid for, your taxes go down to nothing? That's how. You take theirs because they took yours for years. They jeopardize your health and your welfare. And it's going to get worse, which is why you ever heard Trump say, hey, the country's going broke? Musk did. You ever hear Musk turned around and say about the Epstein? You didn't hear that from Trump. Okay. Remember, the next one, remember that easy path over the cartel? I'm going to show you shit you've never seen. I'm going to blow your mind. Which is why this thing's getting difficult. Hey, listen, I'm almost 70 years old. You have a lot to lose than I do. You with young children and so forth. It's up to you. You've got to get this out there. You've got to keep pushing it. Now, listen. Other people are watching this, big platforms. Now, I don't trust them necessarily. I had a call the other day. I told Trump, Crash about it a little bit, but I'm not going to elaborate more. But don't think for a second they're not watching. If 2,000 people, 1,500 people see this, I don't give a shit. They're seeing it. Remember when they got 335,000 after the brokered convention? All those bastards are watching now. They can't let you see it. Think about this. Remember all those moles? All my close buddies for years, libertarians and all this. And what did I tell you? They'd all turn us, and they did. Now, what made them copy everything? What did they tell you was worth money?
I mean,
Why did they fall?
he said it himself. It's big money in it.
Big money copying my shit, right? Blackmail and extortion. That's the game. All those people involved. What do I have? In all these years in isolation, don't forget, world champion, largest volume brokerage firm. Do you know why nobody who could put those things together comes to save you? Because saving you is hard, especially when you sit on your ass. And you've done more by not helping me, by not pushing this for them. Because whistleblowers see, look what happened to Gill. Why do you think they put me on sign? See, look what happened. We took his building, took this. That was a message to you. If you talk, this is what happens. If they take down a lion, they'll take down you. So what I thought you'd follow courage, you didn't. If we lose this country to these animals, it's on you. And from here on in, I'll leave with this. You can't say you didn't know. All right? You can't say there wasn't a way in. And when I give you this cartel piece and they open the doors to human trafficking, child trafficking, it goes to Asia, you're going to sit on your ass then too. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Grace.
Yep. Have a good one, Mike.